They were on an absolute momentum high, and the 5 Marshall buy on Breeze just destroyed Wildcard, and I fear it was a downhill, game from there on. But hey, look, Agent Locke's basically in, and Wildcard, I think it's a slight change up in things. Last time RDW, he was on Cypher, but this time he locks in the KO. But overall, I approve of both compositions. I'm pretty sure I saw, what was it? Viper on both sides as well, which is a must-pick agent on Breeze. Sova, another must-have. So it really just kind of comes down to, I think, Crima's Disciples, how much practice, what kind of strats do they have up their sleeves for this map?
I think this map just adds so much fluidity towards your gameplay as well. It's never really so set in stone, and that's how come those picks like that Sova and getting that information is going to be so important as we do make our way towards the arena right now. Again, ex-Wildcard, they are starting on that attack as we do see, I believe, Crima's Disciple supposed to be on defense, although did that get flipped around, or am I wrong there in terms of what we're looking at?
No, you're actually not wrong, because the attack side, that is ex-Wildcard. I saw Jordation there, and Crima's Disciples, green as gold. Oh, no, green as gold is a terrible thing to say, but whatever, right? Okay, and one thing I like is that as Breeze comes out and more teams, get more familiar with the meta, is that Cypher is the Sentinel to be playing on this map. There's the crazy amount of setups you can have on defense to lock down a site. It's good, but hey, early mid control, just going around elbow, Pocket going to split, not going to go with Cloxy, and that's a lot of intel already. This could be a huge flank early round.
Yeah, you can see them already getting set up on that defensive side. Crima's Disciples are going to be looking for a way to sort of break this down. That said, already planting the spike is Wildcard, and they're actually able to fall back to sort of a safer position right now. So even though the Disciples are going to be looking for that flank, looking for that counterplay, I don't know if they're going to find it necessarily. Cloxy gets a couple shots through, doesn't get any picks just yet, but at this stage, both teams should be completely aware of where their opponents are sitting. Norshin's able to get that first strike as we see another kill picked up, this time by Pocket onto RDW, and it's turning into a bit of a wash right now. Disciples powering straight through Wildcard.
Well, look, there you go. Wildcard, I think they had a good approach initially, just running onto B site as a team, jet dash on, smokes, whatever, blah, 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 get the spike down and then play post plant. But on Breeze, right, when they neglected mid control, that's kind of what happened. There was that early control over towards elbow and a flank of sorts. That's when Crima's Disciples just started to pinch Wildcard, post plant, and they picked up the frags, losing only one player. That was pretty clean, and honestly, it's a small statement, but let's just see how the rest of the game unfolds.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not banking or betting anything on that first round. After that last match that we saw, first rounds, you can bounce them. It doesn't tell us enough, and I'm already seeing some buys actually coming through, actually on that ex-Wildcard side. You had the Marshall as well being picked up.
The Marshall, really?
Yeah, by Jordation, and a little peek. Not going to be able to spot anyone just yet. It's a lot slower game so far, this matchup, compared to sort of what we saw in our last matchup. However, I'll be curious to see when Wildcard pulls the trigger.
It's deep control, actually, being guarded by Wildcard right now. They've taken a lot of the map, but the thing is that they have pistols. On a map this big, the classics isn't really what you want. But maybe some sneaky back shots, headshots. Well, RND6 has a Sheriff, good for one, but... Hang on. Cloxy spots him out. Oh, what a shot! You can't be doing that!
Cloxy, efficient. I mean, you blink and you miss it, but getting those quick one-taps in the dome with that Marshall, so critical in these round 2 matchups. And now, already a member down on the pistols. That's also the Sheriff gone as well, which was really one of the only 2 items. Pocket as well is going to find Smash Brother. This is dangerous for Wildcard. Jordation still sitting with their own Marshall, is going to be looking for something, although just losing teammates left and right. Tries to get a pick, doesn't quite get the head, and then they fall. It is a flawless victory for the Disciples.
Yeah, that's basically how things usually unfold. Wildcard, I think I'm not too sure what the idea was. Maybe that was just a round for them with pistols to poke and prod and figure out where Crima's disciples are playing defense. But usually when you're on a pretty stacked pistol buy, right, and you have like a Viper wall on, say, one of your players, just smoke off a site, usually it's A, and just dash on there, get the spike down, and then just play, you know, post-spawn, try to do some damage with the classics. But if you go individually, nothing much is really going to come out of it, and you just get farmed. But this is a proper buy round for ex-Wildcard, and this should be a round that they are really looking forward to winning, and it looks to be a heavy A stack, but the defensive rotations, look at how much map control they have, pushing down tube, early flank perhaps.
Yeah, this is actually a very squishy situation for Wildcard right now. It does feel like they've already gotten themselves surrounded, so the expected response, I feel like, would be to put that pressure through and almost try to fight through this, but it's going to be that much more difficult just looking at how the Disciples have been able to set themselves up. Jordation trying to play their angles right now, does know where the enemies are. Oh, Prophet actually loses out on that duel to Nas, and that's a very nice pick for Wildcard. A member up at the moment. You'd think they'd be able to keep forcing through. They are fighting back in that corridor to sort of retake control of the map, and Jordation now is actually starting to look quite strong. Gets a cheeky little 3K, and that's ex-Wildcard winning the 3rd point.
Okay, look, you know, ex-Wildcard, that was what they wanted. They got the spike down, and with big rifles playing post-plant, that was easy peasy. Picking up frags left, right, and center. And then at that distance, with the SMGs, Crima's Disciples, they really couldn't do much. They tried to get some map control over towards Tube early on, but it didn't work out. But now, it's their turn on defense to have a buy, and Cloxy, look at the operator, already pulled out on Breeze. If he gets instant value off of it as soon as the round starts, that's a huge boon.
Yeah, I'm going to be super curious to see how Cloxy's going to be able to pay this one out. Obviously looking straight down that long hallway to see who they could find, and actually might be able to spot someone, and well, that's why you play Viper on this matchup, I suppose, to shut it down and allow some pressure to be put forward by ex-Wildcard, as Smash Brothers going to go ahead and get that orb. Already, Pocket actually finding the first pick this time around onto Noshin. A bit surprising to see that taken already. It's going to make this push onto that A a little bit more difficult, although eventually Wildcard is going to commit as now they start to try to come through in force. You can see Jordation acting on point right now. Was spotted by Marsh. The damage goes down, but it's not enough to secure the kill. It's actually RDW who gets the cheeky little 2K, and that's exactly what Wildcard needed to get back. Spike does get planted, as more sort of zoning tools are implemented right now. RDW looking for that 3rd is going to see Marsh the moment the smoke goes down. A 3K for 1. I mean, that's pretty good for RDW. However, health still favoring the Disciples. So ex-Wildcard, they may have got that spike planted. They might be playing a bit defensively, but they've already lost control of that point as well. And we almost could see a cheeky little deflate. No, the defuse is shut down by Smash Brother. 1v1 right now between Prophet as well as Smash Brother. They duel, and it's Prophet who comes out on top. A big win for the Disciple.
I'm not too sure what the idea was there from a Smash, right? Because that was basically a split between these two players of Wildcard. And Nas, he was in a rough spot, yes. He had to keep picking the spike, making sure they weren't defusing it, and he was the first point of contact. But Smash, he had the recon error, and he basically confirms that Prophet wasn't on the spike, he wasn't defusing, and yet he still went for the challenge as opposed to playing the objective. Prophet punishes and just still had time to hop on the defuse. Oh, that was a rough round, and a round that desperately Wildcard needed. Thankfully, though, their economy will net them yet another bye. But hey, look, it's a good start already for Crima's Disciples, and I fear they may be able to chain to get them more.
Jordation actually sticking on the classic. Okay, last second. Oh, that switched to the Marshall right there, so Jordation is committing to the buy. I was getting a little concerned, playing with my emotions a little bit. Wildcard, though, if they lose this one out, they definitely are going to have to econ that next round, and then you are in a bit of a hole, yet already we're seeing those picks come through. It is Wildcard out on top with that initial skirmish right now. Jordation has the knives, and going to be looking for any more picks at this stage. A bit of time has been bought by Wildcard. They're on that A point yet again, and they've been able to get that plant down on the retake. It's only 2 members, and it'll be Pocket on point. Spot Jordation straight away, but now knows where Jordation is. Doesn't really matter, though, because the rest of ex-Wildcard will clean up the kills, and that was the victory that this attacking side needed.
That's clean. Now that's much cleaner from Wildcard. They played together as a team, and they basically had good intel of where Crima's Disciples was coming in for the retake. Everyone just swung at the same time, and then they just picked up the frags. But now, okay, Crima's Disciples, their economy is basically dirt poor. They have a few ultimates for sure, but you really can't get anything done with ultimates on Breeze unless you're Cloxy and can somehow find a kill an orb and get the blades out. But regardless, though, this should be the tie game coming out from Wildcard with Jordan, by the way, 6-time Overwatch MVP. I'll say it again, leading the charge at Wildcard. There'll be game plan. There's split A, and there's only one defender on site. A lone Cypher Marsh. He'd be lucky if he gets one kill. You can hear the short shots ring out. Good for none. Noz gets it, and site belongs to Wildcard.
Yet again, it's another A side push coming from Wildcard as well, and it's just looking like a situation where the Disciples are outgunned, and you can sort of see it, that range advantage coming into play. I mean, you can try and do what you can, Maishu, but it's not going to work out. RDW finds their second on this point in particular. Other choke point now is getting shut down, and Disciples, they're just trying to avoid going, I guess, having it go flawless against them. Prophet almost had a cheeky little angle. Smart move by Nas, though, not to push through, and the end result right there is, well, only one left standing. It is Prophet, who actually might get one with the Classic, does find Jordation, so Super Sub does get found out. More Classic shots coming through. Oh, a lot of wall bangs and not a lot of head bangs. Means Smash Brother will secure the victory.
Okay, that's just hilarious. Especially Prophet, you know, earlier on hiding over towards double doors. He had the perfect timing. There were like 2 or 3 people watching the angle, and he still found the timing to rotate to the other side, and that's why Jordation, expecting it to be cleared, which he did like literally a few seconds ago, walks through unawares, gets clapped. So Prophet, still good for 1. It's something. And you take these small wins when you have such a weak buy Classics against, you know, full rifles. 3-3, look. Max, scoreboard is even, but the Viper Spit is available for Crima's Disciples. I want to know if they pop it early on. There you go, over towards A, but Wildcard are going to go heavy hard over towards B.
Yeah, they finally mix it up, and it actually does look like it may have caught the Disciples a little bit off balance. A quick 1-for-1 at the start, though, will alert the rest of the Disciples to where the action is. Nas on point. It's already been taken quite low, actually, and that could lead to the opening that Wildcard needs. I mean, you can see all of that zone control that's already been established right there through the Viper play, and it's just sort of the Disciples trying to find any peaks around the outskirts of it. Eventually, gonna have to make a move somehow. Pocket just sneaking around, looking for Smash Brother, who, well, now Smash Brother's gonna know where Pocket is, you would think. Or if that toxic goop gets dropped, Narshin's able to find Prophet. Another nice little pickup for the Wildcard side as Pocket has the flank, throwing down the vision inside to the smoke we go, and it's just not working out. Ex-Wildcard looks to and does succeed in holding on for yet another point.
That's rough. Earlier on, Crima's Disciples dropping the Viper Spit over towards A without any intel. It's a common thing that you do see, but they just didn't know, and as a result, Wildcard, they just go balls to the wall, heavy over towards B. After they take side, that's when they put down their own Viper Spit, and however, you see what happened towards the end of that retake. They heard the rotations coming around the corner, pinching them on site, so everyone just got inside the Viper Spit and just held the angles. As soon as the defenders try to walk into it, they get debuffed, and they just start losing HP, and they have limited vision as well. It was just a lose-lose game at that point for Crima's Disciples, and which is why at high tiers, you don't really see a lot of retakes going to Viper Spit. But this is a really aggressive round, though. The defense, they're just rushing right at them.
Judge Rush!
Knives, shotguns!
Judge Rush!
Wildcard, they're bringing it back. Bloxy for 1. Norson trades again, and it's all down to Norson in a 1v2. He has an ultimate soon, but has committed to reload. Pocket may catch him off guard here. Now Norson just has to find the individual 1v1s.
Nope.
Nah, he misses. Good dink though into Pocket. Came close, but yet another tie game.
Power of the Judge Rush. I don't even care what else happened the rest of that round. I saw Judge Rush. I got happy. Disciples, I think they're even happier, though, as they're able to bring that one back. Look, sometimes you need to mix it up when things start to go kind of against you. And something that is almost becoming a recurring theme, I feel like, of this event is the slower, more controlled teams. The second that pressure is put upon them by someone acting sort of aggressive in unusual positions, it does mess with teams, and it throws them off. I mean, it might only work for a round or two, but hey, sometimes that's all you need to sort of shift that momentum back.
Yeah, indeed. Just get the economy under control and get the round done with over and quickly. It worked out, and that's what Crima's Disciples need. Now, that's a lot of noise being made by Wildcard. Standard A take, but Crima's Disciples depositioning. Keep your eyes on the Reyna especially. Oh, that's rough though. Smash, putting out the Hunter's Fury. Different attack trades on site. And Wildcard still duking it out. Spike is down, Pocket chimes in, and here comes the rotations.
Yeah, big rotations coming through right now. Kind of a little bit desperate in this situation. However, Marsh still finds Noshin first, and that gets the numbers back in the Disciples. Pocket with the 3K, doing quite well. And now it's RDW alone trying to clutch this one out, and is already being flanked by multiple sides. Klosky will secure it with the AWP, and the Disciples with momentum right now, back in the lead of this series.
Yeah, back and forth. Now, Max, I hope this doesn't go to another 21-19
Yes.
scoreline.
I was going to bring that up.
Till Monday.
I was going to bring that up because ex-Wildcard, I mean, they're the team that could be feeling the fatigue coming into this one. They had a massive winner semifinal series, and then to lose something like that as well, it can take it out of you in that team. And with how back and forth we're going, I mean, this could be geared up to be another long one. At what stage do we see that sort of fatigue affect the actual gameplay? I don't think we're there quite yet, but it has to be on the back of their mind. Notion, yeah, definitely not feeling fatigue. A quick little headshot on the pocket.
Yeah, Pocket, you tried pushing them really aggressively there, you know, and Crima's Disciples, I can kind of see what they're going for. Just push a little bit on defense, get a few frags, and then fall back, play the numbers. But Norson this time just felt it coming and just caught them off guard. So Wildcard, now they're the ones to really take things down a notch and slow down. Let the rotations of defensively occur. Either it goes A or B, and then with information, they'll choose a site to finally hit. But overall, mid control over towards Wildcard. And from mid, stock standard stuff, you can go anywhere you want. There you go, another frag. Marsh is gone. A seems to be the site hit.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the choice. I mean, there still is a Viper sort of hanging around, and it actually looks like they might be more geared towards B, or at least that's what Jordation is thinking. Let's put some pressure down on Niklowski right now, who's still sitting with that op, and he's being careful. No! Actually turning around, sees Maishu and losing out on that duel, so Jordation already gone, but the rest of Wildcard has pushed their way onto that B point, and now, that's a bit awkward. RDW takes advantage of the distraction, actually gets a 2K for themselves, and now RDW bringing it back. Prophet is eventually going to find the fragger, and now needs to clutch it out in a 1v3. The spike has been planted, so it's a retake as well. Don't know if Prophet has this, even when they get spotted as well with that location dart, and yeah, Prophet, I think, knows how tough of an ask this is.
I don't think it's bad if Prophet even attempts to go for the save here, because 1v3, so this many angles to clear, it's an impossible task, but it does seem like he's trying to go for it. The spike's still ticking down, though. This has got to be a save. Saving the rifle and basically half arm into the next round, it's a boon that your team can really use. Recon arrow, good dodge by Prophet, but he re-peaks and he gets punished heavily. Wildcard. 5-5 again. Max, I don't like where this is going.
I don't like where it's going either, and I'm gonna agree with you as well with that last point. That last repeat, I felt it was a bit unnecessary. The second we saw that dart come through, I feel like that's when you look to back away. I don't think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the plan of that was ever to try to sort of retake it and get that point away. It was just kind of to lock them down and hoping they go down when the spike explodes and you're able to sneak out and survive and just try to shut down the exit ways. But yeah, that last peek kind of bit them in the end. So yeah, tie game. Look, this is, you wanted to watch this match. You said this was going to be the close one. This was going to be the back and forth one. So far, it's delivering.
I'm not wrong. And yeah, Prophet, as you can see in the buys earlier on, he has a Guardian this time. So if he's the rifle and half armor, he won't get, you know, a huge loss bonus, but he would at least have enough to buy full armor and probably util and basically join his teammates with rifles. Maishu, good intel. Probably only spotted one, though. Shock darts.
Nope.
Gets nothing. Everyone just staring at it. And Jordation sitting, lying in wait. Maishu peeks the angle. Wildcard is starting to get these picks. And now A-side is going to get cups upon.
Yeah, here we go. The A-side duel is on. Prophet with the first strike on this one, but Nas responds in kind. And people falling left, right, and center. Numbers advantage currently in favor of Wildcard, but I mean, that health right now is very, very low on the Viper, so we'll see if they're going to be able to hold on to it as Prophet takes a little peek, tries to get some smoke down in there. Marsh with a quick 2K. Klosky follows it up, and it's all down to Nas right now, who is already kind of backed away with the spike, as I think Disciples are now realizing, hold on, where's that last member? They're not here, and I'm not even sure they're still pushing here. Able to get through the smoke wall while it's down.
30
Nas
seconds left.
He has a bit of a flank set up right now, and the Guardian sitting there, I believe. And nope, sorry, that is a Vandal. So that's a nice little pickup for Nas that they're going to be happy to find. And they're going to be able to go all the way to B.
The thing is, Max, if he held into the Phantom right, not only would he have had time to reload, but when he gets a spike down, that's the Viper's pit online for him. So if he can put that down, it's a small win condition because the defense is to push into him. And here's the thing, the Vandal, it's loud, it has traces. The moment he shoots one, the other will probably have a good idea where he is. The Phantom, the Silencer, may be the game changer. But regardless though, 30 HP Nos, it's his game. Let's see what happens. The buddy system pushing in.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one to clutch out for Nas right now. Only sitting on 30 health. He's blinking, you miss it, although they get the first, but not the second. Buddy system pays dividends, and that is a big turnaround for the Disciple.
Yeah, look, I won't say that having a Phantom would have changed the outcome, but maybe there was a universe there in which Noz won that 1v2. The Phantom, faster fire rate, the silencer, and easier to control recoil. Honestly, I think he could have done it. But look, last round of the half now, Wildcard only down by 1. Their economy, it's seen better days, but hey, they'll string together whatever they can get, and they're on the attack side after all, so just do what they did prior, get a few picks against the defenders, and then choose a side to hit. It's worked out in the past, it should work again.
I'm going to say, too, in regards to the sort of Vandal versus Phantom debate that may or may not be going on, well, it's not going to be a debate, I agree with you. However, I might be a bit biased in this one. I feel like in order to have played the Vandal, you should be able to aim. I can't aim, so I'm going to take the Phantom every time.
Understandable.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, actually, that's the gun I want to take, that Judge right there. I'm a filthy Judge player at the end of the day, okay? So
You like the easy way out. I see how it is, Max.
Raised satchel launching Judge player. Let's do it. I'm not good at this game. Either way, though, I have fun, though, as we're going to watch my shoe take a few peeks around the corner. Not able to find too much just yet. It's another slow push coming from Wildcard. They love establishing control of the middle of this map to sort of start off every single one of these points.
Wildcard, yep, definitely back to the slow routes.
Yep.
Slowly walking over towards A, and A main is going to be in contention for a bit there because there's a Viper's pit and a Viper playing over towards the angle, but the defense, one bridge, one stairs. Cloxy, Pockets, the lineup, and Pockets the first to go down. Cloxy repeats, tries to catch Noz, but can't get it done, gets punished, and Wildcard, they've got a decent grip on this round now.
Shock arrow as well! Oh, that was a great blind shot right there, and one that Wildcard will be taking advantage of. They get that plant down in A, and now for the retake, 2v4. My shoe already kind of on the point right now, although Wildcard would have to be checking those angles. In fact, you can see the shots coming through, so my shoe a bit deeper than we were expecting. Smoke goes down in a medium pick onto Jordation. Now we see another bit of that tracking dart, however. Rotating back, Norton's able to find him now. It's all down to Marsh, who already finds one. Just 2 more to go to bring this one back. Gonna hide out in the smoke for now, but we'll let him kind of just go down to the Toxin. All right, then Noz gets a 3K, and we have a tied series at the half.
Switching sides.
Oh my god. No, okay, you know what, I'm gonna quit that right now. But look, over there, right, the Judge inside the Viper's pit, if he held onto the angle for a bit longer, he could have been a nuisance and then rejoin his team on the retake at a later time. Just run out the smoke and be the distraction. But however, that Hail Mary recon arrow from, who was it, Smash Brother, it hit Prophet on the butt. And Prophet was trying to escape from it and just kept tracking him and just gets gunned down like a dog. It's just a series of unfortunate events. And Wildcard now, they're the ones on the defense with Crima's Disciples on the attack. But they are aggressive as hell. But Arnie W, bear in mind, he has the KO, 0-point blade, and it may stop a push even before it happens.
We'll see if it does get utilized right now, as the name of the game seems to be pushing on A right now, yet ex-Wildcard have positioned themselves to defend it quite well. Mid control might be contested right here. No, but Disciples actually just power straight through the mid at this stage, and they want to get on A. RDW, though, already is able to spot out Pocket, and Noshin gets another quick 3K, actually, for Norshin, as that is a flawless victory in favor of Wildcard.
God damn. God, that was clean. RDW juking back and forth and just popping shots. He was the distraction, and that's when Norson came in and just cleaned up after him. Overall, though, Wildcard, they got the intel early round, and they started these pushes, the flanks, super fast. Crima's Disciples, they tried to go for a set play there, just a split A. It didn't work out. I was looking at the Viper wall. It's interesting, but ultimately, I don't really think it helped them at all. Now, Crima's Disciples, they're the ones that are basically eco classics, and they're splitting things up, trying to go for orbs, I like to imagine, but a spike plant would take a small miracle.
Sheriff was bought by Prophet, so there was one Sheriff taken, but for the rest of it, it is sort of that classic approach. Trying to get some wall bangs in right now. Actually, some damage coming through. Not bad at all. Prophet looking to return the favor at this stage. Has already been taken quite low, as the rest of the push happening at the moment on that side, as the orb will get taken, but that's going to be heard right away. And yeah, the shock dart comes through as expected by Smash Brother. Again, a bit some more wall shots right now, and it looks like the Disciples are saying, you know what, A, probably not where we want to be.
Some damage was traded, some bullets exchanged, but the game, oh my god, Jordan!
What?
You can barely see Cloxy! But the tunnel vision, that's the danger with these snipers. Marsh takes him down with the classic 1-for-1. And they collapse onto A. I think may happen from the classics, but it's only pistols. Marsh, you can't be doing that. Point blank, executes RDW. Finally, Norton trades back. It's back and forth.
Oh, these Marshall plays coming out of both these teams realistically, but that one from Jordation, I have no idea how they were able to find the head that quickly. I mean, again, it's why they are some of the best, and it's really doing a good job in sort of keeping the Disciples in this at this stage, although those health bars are quite low. Wildcard most likely has the advantage here. I mean, they have the guns, they have the health. You'd think they'd have the numbers, but at the moment, it's the Disciples who are pushing on to B. Nas is able to find Pocket, and although the wall does come up, it's only going to last for so long. Those are heavy footsteps, doesn't matter. Prophet with a quick headshot. Actually, it's going to even the numbers up. The plant does come down, and all of a sudden, the pressure back on the side of ex-Wildcard. They have the numbers. The Prophet has been so deadly with this Sheriff. Just needs to find those heads. Can't find Norshins, and that's going to be the round going to Wildcard.
I mean, yeah, sure, it's the round going to Wildcard, but they lost 3 players to basically classics and a few Sheriffs. That's quite a hefty price to pay, because going into the next, the bonus buy for Wildcard is going to be pretty rough versus the full stack of Crima's Disciples. And over towards there, that final play, I really like it, because the Viper utility, this is why I like her so much. You can put the wall up, and as long as there's 2 players playing behind the wall, you communicate clearly when you drop it, and it goes down, it's a 2v1 situation. And say you're the one player with the bigger gun, who do you aim for first? You have to choose one, and sometimes you get confused, and at split second, you may pay the ultimate price, because they'll start shooting at you non-stop. And that's how things went down. But over towards the final bit there, Prophet threw the smoke down, but the recon arrow held them in place. He knew one was over towards Archers, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Maybe he could have got a few, had a few headshots, but just good utility usage once again coming out of Wildcard.
Yeah, and the end result of that, I suppose, right now is a situation where Wildcard actually they're on the lower end of the econ, despite losing 2 rounds. Yet Prophet with the Ares actually gets the first kill on Jordation through the wall. Kloski as well is able to find Nas. Again, remember Wildcard, all they're running is Spectres and Sheriffs right now. This is essentially an econ round for them. Then the Disciples making use of that. How is that Ares putting in that much work? RDW does get a shot on to Marsh, but isn't able to win the duel against Maishu. Norshin now going to push forward straight into Maishu, and again, loses out. Maishu, 2 Ks on this round. Smash Brother, last member standing for Wildcard, has a tough push ahead of them. Trying to find what they can. Another duel against Maishu, uses the shock arrow to create space, but still goes down to Prophet.
Yeah, and you know, I think chat and even me, we've done some deduction and figured out that Smash Brother is actually signed Dale Tang, another ex-Overwatch player actually. So Jordation and signed, best buddies with each other as well, sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard, 9 kills each, no cap, just saying. But look, Wildcard, it's a they took that. Well, no, the Crima's Disciples, sorry, they took that round, and that's basically what I feared would happen. Wildcard losing 3 players in the previous, their buy was pretty crap coming into that round, so they really couldn't do much, just throwing bodies at them, and they fell 1 by 1. But now, Jordation, Operator is out on defense, and Smash Brother, oh, it's signed, sorry, another cheeky angle here, looking for more wings.
Yeah, trying to get what they can. That, I mean, we can see through the wall. We can see how that's not going to hit anything this time around, but, you know, A+ for effort in that regards. At this stage, though, it's looking like a slower push from Disciples this time. They're actually staying super far back, kind of waiting to see what information they can gather before they press forward.
Nerd lineups. I want to see where Maishu's shooting at. Oh my god, flies all the way in to what? Destroy traps? It destroyed the trap! Oh my god, that deep in. If you saw it on the mini-map.
I did. I caught that. That was incredible. The Sova play, actually, so far, coming from the Disciples, has been strong throughout this series.
Like I said, they've done their work. This 5-stack, this team, this collection of players, they're here to go far.
Oh, they want it. They want to get in that prize pool. Again, the winner of this best of 1, $500 minimum for the team. And oh, that's an honest day's work, I'd have to say right now. And the Disciples would love to take that away from Wildcard as they're continuing this slow push onto that B side, although Nas may have been able to spot them out. And immediately you can see the reaction from Wildcard trying to rotate around. Nas gets the first strike onto Pocket as Cloxy was looking to reposition themselves. Is going to have to go through that Viper wall, though, if they're going to want to find anyone, as the rest of Wildcard starts to peek their way through. A lot of chaos. Viper's Pit actually used. Prophet really wanting this round, cracking open the egg with that knife before looking to reposition themselves. Narshin and Nas able to find another couple bangs, though, and all of a sudden the Disciples, despite the Pit, They're losing members left, right, and center. Prophet's going to have to clutch this one out and cannot do it. A big win for Wildcard.
Yes, rough. Once again, you know, I don't want to talk about Phantom versus Vandal, but in that situation, 1v4 inside your pit, I mean, you can do it, but it's not going to be easy. And Wildcard, especially players like RDW, you can probably just see what happened there. As soon as Sign spotted him out, there was that ping on the minimap, and the RDW just basically instant tracking, like map awareness, just shoots right through the smoke and takes him down. Wildcard, okay, a 2-round lead, decent economy. Crima's Disciples. Now this is kind of deja vu, Max. Another round they need to win, otherwise their econ is going to be a little bit broke, and we could be seeing the final stages of the game.
And Wildcard, I mean, they're geared up to try to take that from them. Again, Jordation sitting on that op right now. We haven't seen too many crazy shots just yet, but they'll be able to pull it off this time at the moment, as there's a pretty split defense right now from Wildcard. Giving up the middle of the map, but looking to play a bit more defense on the points themselves. And I imagine Disciples, the way how things are going, they're going to be very patient in how they approach this point.
Well, they're holding A. Oh, Marsh, there you go. The mid control takes down Jordation. That's the operator out of the game now. Norton's by himself over towards B, but I'm pretty sure Crima's Disciples, they showed presence over towards mid and B, got the frag, but however, A is the real site to hit. As you can see, RDW got a little bit too angsty, pushed, gets punished, and now Crima's Disciples. Basically, it's going to be a 5v1 on site. Noz has to do it all.
Yeah, Noz, I feel like, has been in this position a couple times already, though, throughout this matchup, and now gets one. Doesn't quite get the second. It was close, but Pocket is able to win out on that duel, and now that gets the plant in. It's going to be a 4v2 if Wildcard's going to want this one back. Must-win round, I feels like, for the Disciples as well, so we'll see if they're going to be able to really lock this one down. Smash Brother finds one. That's a massive headshot. Smash Brother gets rid of the vision, too, and is still relatively healthy. Shock Dart is forcing the reposition, but to get the damage that perhaps the Disciples were looking for, as Narshan looking for that flank.
Last player standing.
Get a little closer, nearly gets it. Pocket perhaps sensing it, starts to step forward, but 1, 2, huge play from Narshan as they're going to try to start that defuse. I mean, Marsh still alive, doesn't have the angle, and he's not going to get there in time. A huge clutch victory going in favor of Wildcard.
No, if Marsh didn't pull up the camera, he just ran straight to it. He would have been able to probably stop the defuse and maybe get the kill. But Jesus, I can see what he was going for, lurking over towards mid for so long, expecting a player of Wildcard to come through mid, and he would catch them as they walk through double doors. But that's not what happened. Wildcard, they played together as a team, they got these kills, and then he just stuck the defuse because it was planted safe. That's not how you want to lose a round, and Crima's Disciples have to be kicking themselves after that. Wildcard, they're in high spirits now, double digits as well.
I mean, and we're not...
It's not bad, actually. The buys, it's not bad. I really talked to that.
It's a little disjointed. I mean, Kloski has to run the Sheriff right here. That's the one I'm looking at right now, but...
And he took the Ult Orb, so he has Blades now. So
okay, so Blades are fine. Yeah, that's all right. But
RDW, the push, that's deep. They don't know he's here.
Oh, this could be dangerous. 1, 2. Any more? Oh, there is still a third, though, but I don't think RDW was aware of that, and now there's a chance RDW might get found. Yep, there it goes. All right, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's 66%. That's a passing grade, and that's something that Wildcard can build off of. Jordation as well, hitting that op to use finally. We get to see a quick pick right there, and all right, 4v2 now the other way. We saw Wildcard bring it back last point. Now it's the Disciples' turn to try to clutch this one out. Already get one on the Smash Brother as Prophet is doing some work.
Yeah, similar situation again for Noz, but there's only 2 players standing, and honestly, this isn't that much more difficult. And really, Noz, all he has to do is just slow them down, make the calls, and play the numbers game with his team. So the wall goes down, Noz holding the angle, Foxy knows he's here, and Noz gets wall bang, he gets flashed out. Flashman taken, Sparks to go down, it's a 2v2 retake.
Yeah, here we go again, another retake situation. I planted in the exact same spot, but Narshan's already on that point, and Prophet almost walks right into it. Viper's pit actually coming out, but with the shots into the pit, the damage actually did get through. Jordation just sort of scoping out that opposite side right now, looking for any sort of flake. Eventually, Narshan is going to try to step their way somewhere. They're listening for those footsteps, trying to hear what they can. Narshan's actually making a lot of noise at the moment as how they start to push into. Here comes the knife. Skotsky finds one, and now Jordation alone trying to get some snapshots with the op. Doesn't work out. Prophet brings it back, and the Disciples, hey, they get themselves right back in it. It was a 4v2, but they held on.
You know, I think Crima's Disciples, I was a bit scared there because after that previous round loss, right, maybe they should call a timeout, taking a breather just to recollect their thoughts, because the way that previous round started, it was not ideal. RW pushes in, gets 2, and Jordation picks up a 3rd over towards Elbow. And that's, you know, already on paper, that's a round basically done. The chances of winning is so slim. Thankfully, they managed to take A site, plant the spike, and even deploy the pits. And that's when things came to bite Wildcard. You don't want the operator in a situation like that. Klossy spots out so many, misses a shot, misses the seconds. But this should be a farm, realistically, going the way of Crima's Disciples.
You would think so. I mean, they know exactly where Wildcard is, and they're able to get them surrounded. However, still need to execute on those picks, and with these recon bolts coming through, I think Wildcard has actually been able to find all of the Disciples as well. Jordation getting some peeks through. Oh, nice little pick from Nas, actually, who gets credit for that first bang. That's going to put the Disciples in an awkward spot, and you can see they're already rotating away. They're already backing off, so this A push that initially looked so good, they weren't able to capitalize on it.
Oh, that's pretty mad. Four players inside caves, and that's Telltale Viper Wall, and they only got 1 kill out of it. I mean, something. But now Norson knows exactly what's coming. He's calling for the help ASAP, just camping, waiting before they even attempts to strike. Good for 1, Norson. Second, and the utility, the combos. This eco is working for Wildcard. It's all down to last player, My Shoe. What more can you possibly do?
I mean, that's a lot of angry sheriffs coming at him right now as My Shoe sort of stuck behind this castle wall right here and knows he can hear all the footsteps, can spot out all the players, and it's just trying to duck, dive, dodge, and weave, and maybe find something, but eventually I feel like that numbers advantage is going to come into play for Wildcard. It's going to go ahead and try to get that recon bolt. It's immediately destroyed, and well, there we go. A big thrifty victory. All 5 kills, I think, were secured with headshots out of the Sheriff.
Beautiful. Wildcard. The thing about the Sheriff as well, at distance, if you land a headshot against a fully healthy opponent, it's only 145. You can't kill them with 145. 5 HP left. And somehow there, Wildcard, just great communication and synergy. They made the calls and they started to strike. You saw who it was. Norson, backside. He peeks out in the nick of time, picks up 2, and then the Hunter's Fury from Signed comes in clutch, gets a few more kills, and it was all down to last player. And they were just toying with them, playing the numbers advantage, not swinging before they finally shut them down.
And now the Disciples have to do what was just done to them, econing in this round to kind of set themselves up for that last stand. Any pick they get here could be massive for them as they're setting themselves up to perhaps look at A at this stage. Smoke's coming out. Really slow anyone down as continuing to push as a team. They are spotted, but now Wildcard knows exactly where they are, and the question is, how do the Disciples react? They're still just sticking in that hallway.
Oh, everyone's in there, but the Eldrone only saw 1 person. They can probably suspect there's more, but there's quite a bit of the map that has been left, you know, unconquered.
Yeah, with
mass rotation, and they hear it. They hear it.
Yeah.
Once again, though, numbers advantage, despite having small guns.
Yeah, big numbers advantage. Strength in numbers. Strengthen the swarm, perhaps, for the Disciples. But the question is, when is that swarm going to press forward? When are they going to strike? They like to play patiently sometimes, although RDW may have found them and has already taken 2 of them out. You can see that smoke coming through just to kind of keep RDW away. But if your objective is to sort of swarm and overpower your enemies through your strength in numbers, losing 2 right away, probably not what you want to see. As ultimates get used, Wildcard not really on top of where this spike has gone. The Disciples have been able to find a way to get a plant down on the B.
Yep, Jordation holds the angle operator. Maishu, though, the Marshall speed came out on top. And now Hunter's Fury gets deployed just to buy some time. But now this 2v3 site hold, it's not going to be easy, especially now with util burned.
That's going to be tough. Oh, Maishu really needed to win that duel, but it's RDW comes out on top of 3K already for RD, as that will be enough to help Wildcard get themselves to match point.
It took a while, but we got there towards the end. Crima's Disciples, though, they aren't out of it just yet. All things considered, that was a pretty good eco. I mean, initially the 5-stack over towards Tubes, they stumbled a little bit, but then the rotation out over towards mid, and then just really aggressive plays by Marsh especially. He had full confidence just running onto the site, and somehow Jordation just missed him out in the open and gets punished for it. So they are able to afford one final last hurrah buy, but Wildcard, that's a 4-round buffer they have to play with.
Yeah, I do feel like, though, last time we kind of saw this situation, the Disciples were able to bring it back after they kind of got that good round on the econ, taking out 3 out of 5. It happened back in the first half. and they would win that next round. History could repeat itself. History's going to have to repeat itself for the Disciples if they want to stay in this event for Wildcard. This is $500 on the line for the team at minimum if they can just get one more defense through. Spikes left back at spawn at the moment for the Disciples. They're spread out. They have control of mid at the same time. They're looking. They're going to try to find that gap as very aggressive push, though, by RDW.
He's doing it again. He's doing it again. Don't tell me he finds success again with the timing. I don't think he saw Marsh.
No, he didn't.
Oh, my God.
Moments.
What is this? Now, Marsh, he may be good for a few here, but RDW's communicating. Okay, he turns around. Good for one. And that's a pick already for Crima's Disciples. Wildcard, they may not know how deep in the map Crima's Disciples are because they've been silent. No intel has been gathered. And soon, I think, this B-take should happen.
Yeah, eventually they are going to push forward. Although, looking at some of these rotations happening right now, Wildcard might be sussing out B just by how long it's taken at the moment. And yeah, everyone moving to that B side right now. Jordation's pulling out the knives. Recon Bolt actually is going to reveal Nas as well, so Wildcard's rotation should be spotted. But even when revealed, a flank was still found. And Nas able to find two before falling themselves. Numbers still might favor the Disciples. Trying to stay alive. They're going to go for that plant. Do we see a retake when you are outgunned? Well, the answer is, well, hey, you take a 3v2, you throw a knife in someone's head, you make it a 2v2. Profit falls over to Jordation, who now has that op, gets another Maishu falls, and it's all down into one. Pocket gets Jordation, 1v1 to stay alive. Can Pocket pull it out? Norshin has the angle, but doesn't make contact in the head. Follows it up, though, and gets there eventually, and that is how ex-Wildcard advances to the next stage.
Oh my God, Norson, what a shot. Pocket, he was the aggressor. He did so much damage early on, and honestly, I had him pegged to win that 1v1, but Norson just out of nowhere with the Vandal, and that's why I guess people prefer the Vandal at times. One to the head, and that's all it takes. Wildcard, they take the 13-8 victory, and honestly, well deserved. I saw better cohesion, and I saw some pretty nice strats there, especially on defense. They started pushing aggressively, and that's not really what I saw last year. Oh, not even last year, still the same year. Not what I saw when they were going for last year's qualifiers.
Yeah, it was an aggressive plays seem to be the winning plays so far throughout the day. It really seems like the team that is willing to take those risks and play a little bit further forward than your opponents might be expecting has been giving people that edge. And again, I know Nods is going to come up as the MVP for this one, but I still loved it. It was RDW who I felt like was leading the charge and almost playing point in a lot of those situations and sort of creating that chaos. I mean, the 2K flank that we saw perhaps best epitomizes that, but at that same token, Nas really was the player who was the most consistent in sort of winning a lot of these firefight duels.
Oh, honestly, I think as a whole, Wildcard, everyone was there. Nas, the side hole, picking up a few frags. RDW, the defensive aggressor. And honestly, I think that's how KO kind of should be played. On defense, he can't really defend. But when you're retaking, that's where his utility really comes in clutch. The flashes, the nades, and the 0 point as well. Norson, he's good. He clutched the final round. Fantastic. But however, Smash Brother, signed. I'm going to point him out. His solo plays, I think, was beneficial throughout the entire game. You can see it. 10 assists. Well, again, RDW also has 10 assists, but you cannot discount the Sova on a map this big.
I also want to shout out Jordation coming in as a sub and getting 4 first bloods, tying both Nas and RDW. Pretty strong right there. Now, I do feel like most of the first bloods that was taken by the Disciples was against Jordation more often than not, but at the same time, hey, you know what? Playing that kind of style with the op, it was good to watch. And for ex-Wildcard, again, their tournament, it keeps running. They are able to stay alive, and I believe they will be playing against, if I am not mistaken, I'm just doing some quick little computations in the big old brainhead, beep bop, ba-doop bop boop. I believe they're actually going to be up against Legacy.
Oh,
wait, are they? No, sorry,
okay,
that,
you know what?
yeah.
Maybe.
Yo, I believe they are. Legacy has beaten the Juicers. So, yeah.
That's gonna be one hell of a tough matchup regardless, though. But before, we go to a record.